All right, so we have a few more items here for the Langtang Leadership Expedition that I want to go through. Items you may have questions about, and do please hit me up with any questions or comments you have about the gear. So I want to start with footwear. A few options. These are a very lightweight slipper. These would be what we use in the guest house in the evening. Super light, they're compactable. They're tiny, so some kind of a nice slipper that's durable that you can wear in that guest house in the evening is very usable. Another option that's a little bit more utilitarian, meaning you could hike in it if you needed to, is a lightweight runner. And this is a Keen version, and again, it's super compactable, usable, and lightweight. The Ultra footwear line on the light side of things, good option as well. So another one you could hike in if you needed to, and nice for the evening. My hiker for the day is this La Sportiva boot. It looks pretty burly, but in reality it's pretty flexible. And that's what we're going for. We're not going for a stiff, hard-wearing, burly boot. We're looking for a mid-weight, even verging on the lighter weight, because we're only hiking with about 30 pounds on our back. We're not doing a big 60-pound backpack. So we don't want to be wearing a boot that's going to be giving us blisters or beating up our feet. So something that's going to protect us from the stones that we're walking on, something that's going to last well, but also not something that's going to really beat up our feet. So I would recommend that mid-weight to lightweight hiker as being your best option. I'm going to have a little sit pad. This is a thermarest. It's actually a full thermarest. Nice to sit on, nice when you need to have something to insulate you from the ground a little bit. And then, of course, I have a gaiter that fits over my boots, and this is going to be for those snowy, wet conditions that we may encounter from time to time on the trail. All right, so that's footwear and a sit pad, sleep pad. I'm also going to be taking along 2 of these. While I have an insulated double wall, like a hot drink mug that I'll take along, I'm also going to take this for my water. And I do kind of just like an Nalgene. That's what works well for me. But if it's a cold day, I may put hot water in here, stick it in this, make some hot tea in the morning, and then I'll have it along the way if I need. So I'll take a couple of those. For your sleeping bag, do make sure you have a compression bag with straps that you can really pack your sleeping bag down and in, because you want it to be as compressed as possible as we pack it. That will be sent during the day, and it will meet you at the guest house. We want to make sure our space is compact as we can. So make sure you have a compression bag in there. Let's go to our backpack. This is going to be my daily backpack. This is a 50-liter Mammut Try-On Pro. What I like about this backpack here is that it is waterproof. And so if I'm out in the rain, I don't have to worry too much about what's inside of it. If you can get a waterproof backpack, fantastic, it's excellent. If you don't, you may consider getting a backpack cover that protects you from wet conditions, or we will be taking garbage bags, and I recommend for you to get that burly garbage bag, like a trash compaction bag. Put that in, I think it's yard debris bag is what it's called, but put your dry things that you want to keep dry in those bags in your backpack, and then even if the backpack gets wet, it'll be good. We'll go through all that in our packing later on, but that's the kind of the 3 options you have. I would say use the bags always. If you don't have a waterproof bag, you want to keep your backpack, get a rain cover, or just get a waterproof, about 50-liter, I think is what we're recommending. That's what I sure like, backpack. All right, a few other things that I will be taking along. This is Aquamira. If you've never used Aquamira, it's basically a mix of 2 chemicals, and when they combine, they create the chemical that, I think it's chloride, which actually kills the bacteria that we have in our water that is so bad for us. So mix these 2 and put them in a cap, let it sit for a few minutes, put it in your water, and you're good to go. SteriPen is another option if you want. And then just make sure that that's in a place that's not going to get broken, because we will be wanting to purify all water that we drink unless it's fully bottled and we know it's from the right place. All right, eye drops. These are eye drops that actually have a bit of a lubricant that lasts longer in your eyes. So go see your eye doctor if you want, but you can get these, I think they're called Sustain Ultra is what they're called, but they last pretty good in the eyes. This is some zinc that I take with me, put on the nose and the face. A little dry box, very nice to keep your things dry if you have a phone or something like that that you don't want getting wet. Put it in a nice case. Ziploc bags work too, but obviously over the course of about 3 weeks, they may start deteriorating. So you may take a few extra Ziploc bags. They weigh nothing. So that would be a good thing to take extras of if you want to use it that way, or a little compartment. Don't bring a lot of these big heavy boxes because they will absorb your weight quickly. If you're bringing wet wipes, highly recommend them, but do try to bring things that are biodegradable, because everything in Nepal is left up in those villages and either buried or burned. And so the more the things, if they're buried, can biodegrade, the better it is for everybody. So if you're gonna bring a wipe along, which is very nice in the evenings if there's not a shower to clean up with, I recommend that. REI carries these, most outdoor stores carry something like that. Dr. Bronner's 18-in-1 hemp lavender soap. Lavender is just this kind, there are many different kinds. Nice because you can use it for almost anything. Shaving, brushing your teeth, washing up. Very useful. Crazy theology or whatever's on the bottle. So good luck with that, but very useful. And I'll take about that much because I'm not using very much per use. It's a concentrated soap. All right, looking at glasses, I think on the list we have glacier glasses. A glacier glass is different than a sunglass because they cover more of the eye. And so when we're thinking about hiking high altitude in snow, we don't want our eyes to get burned or damaged from the snow and the sun reflecting off of it. And that could result in snow blindness if we aren't careful. So making sure that the glasses you have a full coverage on the side, and that way your eyes are protected. I also would recommend taking a couple pairs, maybe even 3 pairs of sunglasses. Sunglasses tend to get left or broken or lost, right? So take a couple pairs, 3 pairs, and make sure you also have something solid to protect them in. This is a nice case that Jobel has in theirs, and you can keep your glasses safe. One thing you see on here, and this is kind of a quick shout out, you can buy little tag zipper pulls online super cheap. These are from Amazon, very cheap, but I just would recommend as you look at your bags, there's some things that really you need to be able to access. Maybe it's on a bag or something, but go ahead and invest. It's like $4 or $5 and you will have some good zips. Make sure they're ones that work, test them out, try them. But if you need to replace them, it's nice to have a few of these along just so that in the dark, if you're needing to access something or it's stormy or cold, you have good zips on your bags. A money belt of some kind. There are many different kinds. Do your own research, but get a money belt that's going to work well, and hopefully not something that's really huge and heavy, but something you're going to be able to hike well with and move. All right, the final bag I want to show you is the bag I'm going to be sending along with either the yaks or the porters that we're working with. All right, this is a Black Diamond black hole bag, and as you can see, it's super tough. It's mostly waterproof. I mean, if it hit the right angle and the zipper, it wouldn't be, but all the rest of this is waterproof. It's also very compactable if it needs to be compacted, which it will be when someone's carrying it. And what I typically will do is I'll split one of these in half and share it with someone else. And so I'll get about half, they'll get about half, and then this is one bag that can be carried with all of the gear that I need to send. So the black hole bag or equivalent is a very good, useful bag. On the list we have another duffel bag that's a lightweight one, and I'm just going to leave that to you. That's just something to have if you're going to store at the guest house before we leave. So you can put something in there that's it's not an expensive bag. It's just something that's going to keep your gear together and it's a pretty safe location as well. So there you go. I think that's everything I have on the table. If you have any questions, go ahead and hit me with those, and we will have a